Hey everyone, it's Argonath here, back with another video. So today we have an article, um, comment by Dr Siouxsie Wiles about a truck driver who was infectious, well, has COVID-19, I assume is infectious, and they're an essential worker because they're making deliveries from Auckland to other parts of the country. So he travelled to three different cities, and so there's a bit of a problem going on that we need to find out where he's been, who he's been in contact with, and so on. So, Dr. Siouxsie Wiles, for those of you that are not in New Zealand, is an esteemed microbiologist at, I believe, Auckland University, and she's been part of the government message about, stay at home if you're in lockdown, wear masks when you go outside all the time, do your contact tracing, all that good stuff. So let's have a look at what she says about this delivery driver. So Auckland University Associate Professor of Microbiologist Dr. Siouxsie Wiles reckons there are too many unknowns about an infectious truck driver's movements and activities for the Waikato and Bay of Plenty communities to rest easy. Oh dear. Foodstuff has confirmed that a delivery driver visited a number of their stores across Hamilton, Cambridge and Tauranga, so three cities in the Waikato area. The three new locations of interest were added to the Ministry of Health's list on Friday morning, all in Tauranga after the Auckland driver who later tested positive for COVID-19 drove there for work. So she says, it all depends on how infectious he was. Was he wearing a mask everywhere he went? He'd need to wear a mask everywhere. Was everybody else wearing a mask? Everyone else needs to wear a mask everywhere. Was he vaccinated? Everyone needs to be vaccinated. Actually, I do agree with that. We need to get vaccinated because it's the only way New Zealand's going to go back to some form of normality with this particular government. Was everyone else vaccinated? Well, no, there's only about 50% of the population which has been double jabbed, so we're quite well behind the eight ball. So Wiles said that it was a given that food and other items need to be get out of Auckland to other parts of the country and vice versa. However, every precaution needed to be taken that drivers were not delivering the virus along with their wares. The situation is also a perfect illustration of why the rest of the country outside of Auckland should not be pushed down to alert level 1. So basically we're going to be stuck in level 2 outside of Auckland because we can't control the borders and can't stop the virus getting out. You can't have it both ways. You can't have most of the country being open while there is an active outbreak elsewhere. There's always a risk, and it's all about balancing that risk. As long as everyone does their part to reduce the risk, everyone wears a mask, everyone keeps track of their movements, then the risk reduces. So everyone needs to wear a mask, and that's the lesson. It's everyone's job to keep everyone safe. So when you go outside, wear a mask, everyone. Make sure you contact trace. Make sure you social distance from everyone else. Alright, so she's been in the news lately because she was caught kind of not really adhering to those rules. So let's look at it. So today's article is the 17th of September. Let's look at this article, which was dated the 10th of September. So Director General Dr. Ashley Bloomfield has defended high-profile microbiologist Dr. Siouxsie Wiles after she was filmed 5 kilometres from her home on a beach with a friend without a mask during lockdown. So we've been told that we need to stay local when you're in level 4 lockdown, which Auckland has. So I guess 5 kilometres is local to your area if you're travelling by bike or by car, I assume. But I guess not by walking, maybe? I don't know. It doesn't really say. So what was the problem? So the microbiologist frequently encourages people to follow COVID-19 rules and is on the record as recently as August 18, advising the public to stay away from people and to physically disconnect for a little while. So just stay away from people, don't go close to people. Right? So it talks about what the opposition party leader is talking about. That's fine. The interesting part is Dr. Wiles responded to inquiries from the BFD, who originally leaked the story, which reported on the video saying, I was with someone from my bubble who lives in the area. Judges Bay is about 5 kilometres from my home, which is pretty local when on a bicycle. So if you're on a bicycle, yep, just go ahead. You can travel 5 kilometres from your home. It's not really a problem. You may or may not have the virus. Who cares? So Dr. Bloomfield, sorry. I've had a message from Siouxsie who described what happened. From what she told me, it didn't sound like protocols were breached, and I don't think that the person who went into the water did what they could be described as a swim. So one of the COVID-19 protocols in level 4 for New Zealand is that you cannot go swimming. The reasoning is that if you get into trouble, like you get dragged out to sea or something, then rescue people have to put their lives in danger because they might get the virus to go and rescue you. So that's one of the tenets. So the BFD posted a video which is on YouTube, so I found it on YouTube. Let's have a look and see what it is that they're actually doing. So you can see Dr Siouxsie Wiles in the pink or purple hair, pink hair, sitting next to her friend who is actually part of her bubble apparently. But notice the man in the background over here. So he's out exercising his dog and he's wearing a mask. Good on him, he's following the mask protocol. So we can see that's Dr. Wiles and her friend who are in part of the same bubble apparently, so we'll have to take their word for it. They're not wearing a mask, so I assume they don't want to wear a mask because they want to talk to each other, which is fine. Yep, that's cool. But obviously you don't need to wear a mask all the time when you're outside, right? If you're socially distanced from people, then you don't need to wear a mask, apparently. And you can't go swimming. So again, let's have a look at this person who's over here in the far left corner. So she's kind of neck deep in water. I don't know how deep the water is. Maybe she's just paddling. It could be quite deep there, who knows? But apparently this is not classed as swimming. So basically you can go out into the water a little bit, get neck deep, and you can paddle around. It's not such a problem. So that's not classed as swimming. So those of you in level 4 in Auckland, feel free to go down to the beach as long as it's within 5 kilometers of your home. Feel free to paddle around the water. Just remember, stay socially distant for other people that are on the beach. And if you get close to someone, then you need to wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask all the time, as long as you're socially distant. So we can see that she's having a nice paddle in the pool. So that's not swimming, so that's perfectly fine. So let's go back to what Dr. Siouxsie Wiles said today. Everyone wears a mask. There's no qualification that you only need to wear a mask if you can't socially distance. She just says everyone needs to wear a mask. Alright, and that's the lesson. It's everyone's job to keep everyone safe. So Dr. Wiles, when you're sitting on the beach here, you weren't wearing a mask, right? That's not part of your statement that you put out today, which is everyone needs to wear a mask. You didn't give a qualifier saying that, oh, it's only if you can't socially distance that you have to wear a mask. Right, so maybe you should include that in your comments next time. Otherwise, people might think you're actually a hypocrite, telling everyone else to wear a mask, but you're not actually doing one. So you only need to wear a mask if you can't socially distance outside. All right, and we can see that in the other article. So where it is, Dr. Bloomfield told News Hub it's okay under alert level 4 to cycle 5 kilometers from your home with someone from your bubble and not be wearing a mask. Right? Actually, there's no qualification there. It doesn't say and not wearing a mask if you can't socially distance. Right? There's not even any qualification from the Director General of Health. Yes, it is, he said. The Prime Minister has earlier talked about if you're keeping well away from other people and you're undertaking exercise on the more vigorous side, then that is fine. You do not need to wear a mask. So Dr. Wiles, when you make a statement that everyone needs to wear a mask, can you please add a qualifier that it's only if you can't socially distance do you actually have to wear a mask when you're outside? That would be a really great thing. So again, another thing of the academic elites telling the rest of the population what to do, but there's no qualification there. They just want everyone to wear a mask, but it's okay for them as long as they're in their bubble with someone from their bubble, as long as they're socially distanced and they're on the beach. So for the rest of us, we can just follow that lead, right? So don't need to wear a mask outside. As long as you can socially distance, you're perfectly fine. There's a precedent being set by Dr. Wiles. Anyway, that's it from me, Agranath. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. And again, if you like the video, please give it a like. If you like my content, then give me a subscription. I'm hoping to do content every day, hopefully. Okay, see you next time.